All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are taking a seriously fascinating look into the world of extreme luxury agriculture. We're going to explore a story of total dedication, absolute precision, and an agricultural pursuit of perfection that culminates in something, well, something truly extraordinary. Get ready, because we are about to unpack the unbelievable, labor-intensive journey of a piece of fruit that is treated with more reverence and, frankly, more care than you could possibly imagine. So picture this for a second. You're standing at a high-end auction, the gavel slams down, and a single pair of mangoes has just sold for 500,000 yen. Right, let that sink in. That is nearly $4,000 for just two pieces of fruit. It's an absolutely staggering figure, isn't it? But here's the thing. That price tag isn't just pulled out of thin air. It represents a monumental triumph for the farmer who grew them. Because we are not talking about the ordinary mangoes you just grab at your local grocery store. No, these hold a legendary title, Taiyo no Tamago, which translates to egg of the sun. And honestly, the name fits perfectly. Just listen to how these are described. Stunning, plump, this deep, vibrant red. They have to be perfectly unscratched, literally without a single tiny blemish, and incredibly sweet. These absolute masterpieces of farming are cultivated exclusively in the Miyazaki Prefecture of Japan, where farmers dedicate an entire year of their lives just preparing them for auction. Section 1. Cultivating the perfect fruit. Okay, let's dive right into this, because achieving the title of Taiyo no Tamago is absolutely no accident. Now, you might be thinking, okay, these mangoes must be some incredibly rare, ancient, heavily guarded genetic species, right? Actually, scratch that. In reality, the mangoes farmed in Miyazaki are from the Irwin mango variety. This is a type often called the apple mango because it turns a beautiful, rich red when it's ripe. And here is the real secret. Irwin mangoes are actually pretty common. They're grown all over the world and usually sold for practically nothing. So the exclusivity of the Taiyo no Tamago, it has nothing to do with genetics. It is entirely about the immense human dedication, the pampered luxury, and the unbelievable round-the-clock care it receives. Let's just slow down for a second and really absorb the meticulous, borderline obsessive environment these mangoes are raised in. Step 1. In order to generate buzz and boost the odds of success during flowering season, farmers literally rent bees. Without them, the mangoes just wouldn't get big enough. Step 2. Absolute total climate control. Every single thing in the greenhouse has to run perfectly. Constant temperature, flawless ventilation, exact dehumidification. Step 3 is gravity protection. If a mango starts to slump into the shade, the farmer ties it up with a specialized string, keeping it perfectly suspended. And step 4, well, this is for sure my favorite, light reflectors made out of milk cartons. The farmer custom builds these little reflectors to make absolutely sure the sunshine kisses every single millimeter of the fruit equally. To really wrap our heads around this level of devotion, we have to look at the human element. The farmer at the center of our story today is a man named Takuya. Takuya brings 16 years of hard-earned craft to his greenhouse, a craft he learned directly from his father. It's like a giant puzzle he's mastering every single day. He manages plants that are already 20 years old, and if he does everything right, they can survive for up to 35 years. He treats every single mango with deep, profound respect. And in return, the mango repays him by developing a flavor you literally cannot find anywhere else on Earth. Section 2, the ruthless inspection. But growing a beautiful mango in a peaceful greenhouse, that's only half the battle. Now it is Judgment Day. 9,500. That is how many mangoes Takuya grew in his greenhouse this year. Think about that. 9,000 individual fruits, every single one carefully tied up with strings, pollinated by rented bees, and warmed by milk carton reflectors. But you know what? All of that incredible care guarantees absolutely nothing until they face the inspectors. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer ruthlessness of the criteria these 9,500 mangoes are subjected to. It is staggering. The first inspection is purely visual. Human eyes scrutinize every inch to ensure they are red all the way through, with absolutely zero hints of green at the bottom. But passing the eye test, that's just the warm-up. Next, a machine takes over. It sorts them based on incredibly strict sugar content, very specific weight thresholds, and exact size requirements. It is literally a grueling gauntlet of perfection. So the crucial point is how this intensive sorting process drastically narrows the field. Out of all the mangoes harvested, the inspectors and machines sort them into 5 distinct grades. Out of those 5, Only the top 2 tiers are pristine enough to earn the highly coveted title of Tayo no Tamago. The rest of them? I mean, they're probably delicious, for sure, but they simply do not make the final luxury cut. Section 3. The high-stakes auction. Once those few truly perfect mangoes are selected, they head to the Miyazaki Central Wholesale Market. This is the climax. This is where the sleepless nights and the 16 years of craft all come together. And this brilliantly illustrates the payoff of Takuya's relentless dedication. When that auction begins, the energy is electric and the stakes are sky high. The ultimate goal is always to match or somehow beat the previous records. Well, check this out. In his first year, Takuya's mangoes fetched the highest price. His second year? Boom, top price again. And in his third year, his mangoes actually matched the all-time record, selling for that astonishing 500,000 yen we talked about earlier in the explainer. That was 300,000 yen higher than his previous year. 3 straight years of hitting the absolute pinnacle of the auction. Just incredible. So those record-breaking mangoes were ultimately scooped up by a high-end department store over in Fukuoka, destined for Japan's premium luxury gift-giving market. But we really need to understand what a monumental victory this is for Takuya. You see, even in Japan, a country with a massive, deeply ingrained cultural tradition of luxury fruit gifting, it is never a sure thing that you'll find a buyer willing to drop that kind of cash. The financial risk the farmer takes is immense, which makes this kind of reward just that much sweeter. And then, just like that, the wild rush of the auction fades away. The gavel comes down for the final time, the buyers head home, and the fruit is shipped off. But nature doesn't take a vacation. As this quote beautifully summarizes, after flowering, fruiting, harvesting, and auctioning, Takuya's mango plants are ready for a new season. The greenhouse gets quiet again, those little milk carton reflectors are waiting. Takuya walks right back to his 20-year-old plants, completely ready to start this meticulous, grueling, incredibly beautiful cycle all over again. Which really leaves us with this final thought to chew on. We live in an era where almost everything we consume is mass-produced, right? It's genetically modified for maximum volume, packed into crates, and shipped in bulk. But the Tayo no Tamago represents the exact opposite of that. It is an unrelenting, deeply human pursuit of the absolute flawless. So I'll leave you with this question. In a world obsessed with mass production, what is total perfection actually worth? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope you're walking away with a totally newfound appreciation for the true art of the harvest.